The International Space Station flew over the storm at about 3 p.m. Eastern Wednesday, just as Ian was making landfall in southwest Florida. And to give you an idea of the scope of this storm, the astronauts on board the space station shot this video you're seeing from an altitude of about 250 miles. For more on this, the intensity of this hurricane, I want to bring in Captain Jason Mansour. He pilots a Gulfstream-IV Hurricane Hunter aircraft for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Captain, thank you so much for being with us. Most people are flying away from the hurricane. You flew into it. Why?
Great question, sir, and thanks for having me. The NOAA Hurricane Hunters go into harm's way to obtain the best possible information so the best possible forecast can be made. In this case, about Hurricane Ian's forecasted strength and track.
And how long does it take you to get up there, get jostled around, get enough information, and then come back down to the ground?
Great question, sir. The last mission we flew in Hurricane Ian was yesterday. We took off at 1:30 p.m. from Lakeland, Florida, and flew for about 7.5 hours. In the Gulfstream-IV, we go 7 miles every minute at an altitude of up to 45,000 feet. So in that particular mission yesterday, it was about 3,300 nautical miles.
And the information that you're able to give, does that expire over a period of time? In other words, do you have to keep those flights going to get, and I assume, and I'm going to do, you're not supposed to ask 2 questions at once, but I'm going to do it. Does it expire? And then is this the best possible information that can be gotten about the behavior of these kinds of hurricanes by flying right into them?
Great question, sir. I'll start with the last question first. So I believe this is the best quality information called in situ observations. Without aircraft going into and around the hurricane environment, actually informing the hurricane models, what's actually happening in the atmosphere, that's really, really good stuff. Without these efforts, the models are guessing what's happening out there. Regarding the expiration time of the data, I'm going to say that the sooner the data can be absorbed into the forecast models, the better the forecast can be.
Captain, what's it like to fly into a hurricane? How bounced around do you get?
You know, for the course of our 8-hour flights, every hour is different, sir. Hour number 1, it could be relatively benign and we could be above the elements of the hurricane. By hour 5, we're in the hurricane elements, and even by hour 6 or 7, we're actually bobbing and weaving around hurricane elements going to 50, 60,000 feet high. So over the course of an 8-hour flight, every hour is different, and it depends on the storm that we're flying on.
And when you were flying on Tuesday, correct me if I'm wrong, it was stronger than it is now? Or I guess what I'm asking is, what did it feel like relative to other hurricanes that you'd flown in terms of its intensity?
Great question, sir. I understand on Tuesday it was a Category 3, but keep in mind the NOAA Hurricane Hunters have been flying the system since last week when it was developing in the Caribbean. And I'm talking about the NOAA P3s, the NOAA Gulfstream-IV, and also the Air Force Reserve C-130s. So it's very much a multi-agency response, getting real-time data for the model's benefit. Regarding this specific storm, I'll say turbulence is turbulence. They all can be bumpy to varying degrees. This one wasn't particularly memorable from the flight deck perspective.
Turbulence is turbulence. I will remember that on my next flight, Captain. We're very grateful you're out there, and I know the people down in Florida are too. Captain Jason Mansour,
Yes, sir.
Thank you.